They had that single one track focus on just doing that. They were in complete sadhana, right? And I saw that and I was surprised. I was just surprised. I was like, what am I doing with my life? Okay, there is this program called Sadhanapada, and what it was all about. I was just missing out on so many things, I feel. Anna, please sit on this side, right? So I was really shocked, called Shambhavi Mahamudra, and complete the inner engineering. That's step number one, right? And when I opened it, I was like, this is tougher than, applying for a master's program in the US. Sadhanapada was a high point, IE program was a high point, but consecration was when I was still on the fence. We did not even know what was in store for us, but the way that we were looked after, the way that our inner journey was prioritized, the way that our welfare was prioritized, the way we were supported through this entire journey. My father was extremely, shocked. My friends were also concerned. They were worried that, am I going off to become a sadhu? Right? Out of the blue, why are you doing this?
Welcome to In Conversation with the Ishas. In the first episode of In Conversation with the Ishas in the Sadhanapada series, we would like to welcome a very special guest. He is a mechanical engineering graduate from IIT Madras and a cybersecurity strategist. He is a very competitive, well qualified, and a national rank holder in the engineering discipline. Besides his academic excellence, he is an avid bike enthusiast and an ambitious tech savvy to travel the world. As a dedicated Isha meditator, his journey includes volunteering, participating in the Sadhanapada program, and serving as a Sadhguru wisdom warrior. We are very glad to welcome the one and only Pranshu Anna today. A heartfelt gratitude to Pranshu Anna for joining us to share his experiences. So without further delay, let us go into the conversation. Welcome. I has coincidence, Anna, that when the moment we have been talking about podcast and you just came into the picture and everything really fell into place. I feel so happy. Actually, the moment that when I have spoken about it, you would come forward, and that really gave me a lot of confidence.
Exactly. You reached out. You also credit to you, Akka, because you reached out, because I knew only Vinay Kumar Anna and I knew the concept of your couple channel. But you reached out then again, and then the loop was closed. That was really Sadhguru's grace that, possibilities are happening like this. I never knew.
Like we take just one step and he takes 100 steps for us.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not the first time I'm reaching out, Anu. Like when we were like in the Sadhguru Wisdom Warrior training, when Vina used to attend your buddy call, I used to listen because it's so interesting, amazing, absolutely informative.
That's great, Akka. That's fantastic. So I think Swami, one Saturday meetings also of Swami are really good. I mean, the way he has taken it forward, it's really amazing. He's keeping it every Saturday. He's coming up with something new for us to experience, which is amazing, I think.
Usually, like after his meetings, that I will be on really high, like, so I really want to, immediately implement all the points that he's mentioning about, like in our enhancing ourselves as a life, and also, like putting into actions like what is needed as a Sadhguru wisdom warrior also. It's such a very spirited sessions actually. And also to being with the fellow Sadhguru wisdom warriors also, like everybody's, the way like their sharings, every small part of these meetings are very carefully designed, I believe, and they are
Totally.
truly helping us actually. Helping me a lot to, I hope it is for you also, like for
Yes, absolutely.
we all are charged up after his meeting.
Very nice.
Like to call this as In Conversation with the Ishas. It's not an interview, it's not questioning someone or so, but it is just a friendly chat or conversation to just to share about our journey of Isha. Yeah. Before we are how we were, and once after we have done the inner engineering or come to know about Isha and being in touch by Sadhguru, how our life has been transformed. So we are just going to speak about that. We don't have to be really attained of something, or because sometimes I do hear from people that they hesitate to open up because we do see that there are many volunteers, many meditators who are being associated with Sadhguru for many years, like 25 years, 35 years, from the time that he started Dhyanalinga work.
Absolutely.
We feel that so we are so small, what do I have to share, or what do I have of my sharing should be of anything matters to anyone or what it is like. But I feel that this is an offering to Sadhguru in taking Sadhguru to many more. And today we have a very special guest, Pranshu Anna. Thank you so much for joining.
Namaskaram.
Anna, you can introduce yourself.
Yes. So a little bit about me. I graduated from IIT Madras in 2011 in mechanical engineering. So I worked in corporate, American and multinational corporation in Tamil Nadu for around 3 to 4 years. I then worked my way into business consulting because I was very passionate about solving business problems. Post that, I got into, during COVID time, I started my own cybersecurity mentorship programs. And I help people get into technology careers, especially in, new age, emerging technology careers like data science and cybersecurity.
Thank you for giving us a little bit of background about yourself, Anna.
Anna, could you please share any fun facts about yourself?
Little bit fun thing about me is I can say, yeah, one thing that I had done is in Tamil Nadu, I have where I did my engineering and also worked. I have spent a lot of time. Actually, I built a mobile planetarium, and I taught astrophysics.
Mobile?
It is it's basically an inflatable dome. Okay, I imported it from China and then basically showcased 3D shows on astrophysics and to unlock the secrets of the cosmos for for people who don't have experience, people from rural background, who attend rural schools. So
Very interesting, right?
yes, that was a very fun one fun fact about me.
I was studying in a school that was opposite IIT. It is called KVCLRI. And we always went to competitions at IIT. So, are there any highlights of your mechanical engineering time at IIT?
The other thing is, I was in my engineering times, I was in the water polos and the swimming aquatics team. So we went to IIT Kanpur and we won the silver medal, and I was I was leading the contingent there. So that was my highlight of my engineering time.
Wow, wonderful. And Anna, maybe it would be nice to know that where you originally come from, also
Very nice. Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from Uttarakhand. But I was born and brought up in Bangalore in Karnataka because my dad was in the forest department. So he got Karnataka cadre. So we've been in Karnataka for as long as we can remember. And coming from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu was a bit of a culture shock for me initially. But over the years, I have begun to, really enjoy Tamil Nadu as a place. Initially, there was a lot of pushback from the locals because, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu don't get along as two states because of Kaveri water issue, right? And my dad is also
so one that unites them, connects them at the same time.
correct. It is also the point of contention. But over time, I have really begun to appreciate Tamilians for what they are in the local culture. Especially this happened with once more after I got into Isha, and more after I got into job. Right?
I also believe that once people get to know about you, also they can't resist. From being with you from night, right? I think because you are such a friendly person. Because we haven't met for many times, like before we have started talking.
Thank you so much, Akka. Thank you so much for the kind words. Yeah, I'm generally very friendly, and I try to help people in whichever way I can. So my mother tells me that sometimes worry about yourself also sometimes instead of worrying about other people so much.
I can
Yes.
see that, like you are putting yourself behind. And I remember, like, whenever I ask for help or anyone in the Sadhguru Wisdom Warrior group, like if they are in need, you are there. Because still, I remember the words that you have mentioned, that I am available here, and I am offering myself. Like anyone, you need any help, just make use of me. Like such a word that I don't think anyone would be able to offer. Because especially like you have such a hectic schedule of your own. You have your own, like you mentioned, you are running a course also, like you are also part of volunteering in many other groups and activities, were intensely involved. So in that, with all the schedules, like you are taking your time off, and you are also prioritizing for us. That's really amazing, I feel.
Thank you so much, Akka. I think it's all Sadhguru's grace that he's helped us uh, become the best versions of ourselves, right? So, what matters to me is to become the best version of myself and help others also in their similar journeys, right? So, that's my goal in life, and that is what I want to, that is my raison d'etre, you can say, or why I want to, why I look forward to every day. And that all this has been enabled. The clarity I got after, more after, getting initiated into inner engineering and after Isha happened.
That's interesting, Anna. Like how first time that you have come to know about yoga, or before know about Isha, like what was your idea about yoga? Have you?
Right. So I have a very interesting story to share here. So I was actually, I had a bike with my salary. I had purchased. The first thing I did is purchase a, R15 Yamaha, and that's what I always wanted. And I used to whiz around in it, and I used to enjoy my newfound freedom, financial freedom. And what I lacked is a lot of balance. So I had my fair share of accidents. Right. So I used to face a lot of accidents because of my enthusiasm for speed, right? And that's when I, met with one such Saturday. I was actually traveling to office, and which was, in Tirulur, which is really far away, right? So, and I was speeding, right? And I skid while I was trying to turn, and I actually fell. Right, and it was such a bad injury that I actually, had a lumbar disc issue, right? And that left me bedridden for like 2 to 3 months, right? And the pain was just, if you know spinal issues, the pain is just intolerable, right? I was very down, I was very depressed at that point of time. And that's when, yoga was a form of physiotherapy that actually one of my doctors, actually, we showed a lot of experts. My family supported me with this. So one particular doctor suggested, yoga is the only way that you can come out of this trauma, right? Otherwise, there'll be a permanent asymmetry in your body. So I used yoga as a tool to come out of the trauma, right? So that's how I downloaded. There was an app called Daily Yoga app that I installed, and I went for the premium version of it. It is a Chinese app, quite surprising. But I did not even know that Indian teachers were so experts at yoga that I had to resort to a Chinese app to learn yoga. That was how I started my yoga journey. So I'd been doing 2-3 years of yoga, and it really helped me rectify my lower back issues. Yoga was basically a tool to come out of trauma. So I never thought of it as anything beyond the physical, right? But all that changed after I got initiated into inner engineering and Sadhguru, and then I.
And when did you, or how you have got introduced to inner engineering? Or many of us have a very beautiful story to remember. Like the first time that when we have seen the flyer, or the invitation for the inner engineering, or somewhere
Absolutely.
poster.
Absolutely. No.
Interested in listening to your journey to start at the start of the journey.
Yeah, sure. So the first thing that happened was, inner engineering, I used to see Sadhguru's videos, right? And I had seen, how he draws you in, right? But I never really.
For me, you just hit in YouTube, Anna. Do you mean in YouTube?
Yes, in YouTube I had seen, and I was like, yes, this he talks a lot.
It's a YouTube suggested on its own.
Yes. So when I was searching for yoga on YouTube, I came across his channel, and this is how I knew about Sadhguru. But I didn't know about the Isha and the inner engineering program at that point of time. So I was doing my own thing back in COVID time, right? When I was doing my own business. That's the time then I felt a lot of burnout, right? Because when you're doing solo entrepreneurship, right, there's a lot of emotional burnout, right? You start doubting yourself, whether you can really do it and how to keep yourself motivated. Nothing is working, right? So that was a time when I actually was finding it difficult to deal with my own failures, right? And at that point of time, my family, my sister and my mother, they had completed the inner engineering program, so they knew all about it. So they actually suggested to me, why don't you, consider doing this program? It may help you like how it has helped us. It may help you, find your mojo. It may help you recover from whatever, emotional burnout that you're going through, right? So I was like skeptical at first, but then I was like, okay, fine, why not give it a try? Since I was always into learning a lot of programs, and I've always been following the program from the beginning to the ending. I've always been a good student. That has never been a problem for me. So I thought, okay, fine, let me seriously take this up and see as an experiment what it does to me. I went for the 7-day inner engineering program in my local center in Kormangla because I wanted to experience the complete offline experience, not just do it online.
In person.
That's when I first got into inner engineering.
Okay.
It's interesting. So already your mother and sister have done the program and you have got into it.
Absolutely. So my mother had even done Angamardana and she'd even done inner engineering, and then my sister also did it, and it really helped. I have seen my mother, how it has really helped her. How it has helped her deal with her own physical issues of aging, right? It has really helped her how to come out of that, and as a person also how she's become full of joy and this love that that somewhere along the way we lose track of. But the program, I could see the changes in her, so I thought, yes, why not give it a try? Maybe it's working for other people, right? And it comes highly recommended. Let me do it.
How was your experience, Anna, when you were going through the programs, like when you were there in the program? Was it a 1 week program or 4 days?
It was a 7-day full 7-day program, 1 week program, and it was it just changed my life. First program's always been it hits you really hard, but I did not know that it was so well crafted, right? So the very first day I was drawn into his words, and I was just with Sadhguru's words. He has this amazing voice, so I got completely mesmerized by his voice, and I followed everything to a T, right? And finally, when the initiation actually happened, I was able to experience something so supernatural, right? That I wasn't able to explain what was happening to my system, right?
What an amazing and wonderful experience, Sana, that you have had in your inner engine program.
What impact it has caused in you, Anna? Could you please share about it?
So at first, for somebody who's very logically driven, I did not know what changes are happening inside my body. But there was the first week, I had not slept more than 4 hours the entire week. I used to sleep less than 1 hour a day for the entire week. So my sleep requirement drastically came down. My requirement for food drastically came down. And every moment I was bursting, right? I was bursting with this energy and this ecstasy that I could not explain what was going on. So I did not even know what hit me. All I knew is just follow the instructions, just be with the instructions, and just let it play out, and let's see where that takes you. The experience, it cannot be spoken in words. True.
So then you started practicing regularly, Anna? Like after the program you have completed, you started practicing?
Absolutely. So it took me three to four attempts to get my mandala, because something or the other happens, right? Either in the first morning or the second half. Morning, I did not have an issue, but in the second half, in the evening part of the practices, something or the other comes up in your life, and you end up getting sucked into that and not being able to stick with it. So I was losing my streak.
Maintain the empty stomach condition is another challenge along the way during the day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maintaining an empty stomach is a challenge for a lot of people. Yeah, even I faced that challenge. That's very true. So maintaining the streak was even of a more challenge for me. So it took me at least 3 to 4 attempts. Right. First time I did 19 days. The second time I did 5 days. Then third time I did 25 days. Fourth time I was very close to doing it, and then I just before the thing got over, I actually something happened in my life, and then I had to travel, and then it went off. So it was around the fifth time that I finally got it. It took me around 6 months to actually get the entire thing right. Right? Yes, Akka?
Wonderful, Anna, that you're so committed and determined that you want to really make that happen for you. And
To do the one mandala, really. That's very.
it's
Absolutely, absolutely. The practice really helped, and the even more after I got that thing, then I began to understand myself better, why I was not able to do it, and automatically with that, whatever issues were troubling me, they automatically went away with that entire discipline came into my life. And then found myself not having to struggle with all these things. You have to be 100% committed to it. That's how I understood you. That comes first, right? Then the rest of your life, sadhana always needs to be prioritized over other things. Only then it starts doing things to you. Only when you give yourself 100% to it, then something happens to it, right? That was my learning through the entire experience.
It's very inspiring to see that you are committed to your sadhana. That perseverance is very much needed. And in turn, we can see what it has done to you.
when you have visited the ashram, like after the
Absolutely.
inner
So August 2022 is when I first got into inner engineering, but I visited the ashram around 6 months before that, right? So I was going with my friends on a road trip to Pondicherry, right? That's when we made a pit stop and visited Adiyogi and Isha Foundation. And that's when I first saw people doing the Pradakshina, right? I saw the people doing Pradakshina around Adiyogi, and I was coming there as a tourist with my friends. So we were in our own world, and we were all, we didn't know what is all this, right? But I was just in Yogeshwar Linga when we were actually doing the darshan. There were people also. They were doing the Pradakshina there, and there was this particular energy in that place. This that really helped me. It was raining that time, so I was and even in that rain, these people were just walking around that, and they were not bothered about anything, right? They had that single one track focus on just doing that. They were in complete sadhana, right? And I saw that, and I was surprised. I was just surprised. I was like, what am I doing with my life? If I'm capable of this level, if people my age or younger than me are capable of this level of focus, right? And I'm just wasting it away, right? So I made a conscious decision to understand what is this all about. And then I went back, and then I did some research on it. Then I figured out, okay, there is this program called Sadhanapada, and this is what they were all doing.
So that's how you had come to know about Sadhanapada.
Absolutely. That's the first time that I figured out after going back to YouTube, I researched it, and then I figured out this is the program, and this is how you get to, that's what all these people were doing, and this is called Pradakshina. And that's when I felt, okay, fine, this is something that I want to do.
Okay. That's one leads to other, right? That one good thing leads to another good one.
Exactly. It's exactly like a domino effect, exactly like Vinay Kumar Anna said. Yes.
It is wonderful, Anna, that what you were sharing from your IT job, bike accident, and how you got into yoga. And then in 2022, when you went to the ashram, how you felt. So you went as a tourist, but as a tourist, you have a different view. But once inside the ashram, you have a different view. Was there any difference that you felt?
Completely. After the program and before the program, there was a huge difference. So I actually understood the seriousness with which it's supposed to be done, right? Before that, I did not even know what it was all about. I was just missing out on so many things, I feel. So I'm really glad that I got a chance to experience it from the inside.
But how was your feeling when people started calling you Anna? I mean, you're pretty young.
I'm sure everyone has their own story of understanding this Akka Anna and called by Anna and you call someone as Akka Anna. So it might be interesting. We would be eager to hear from you your experience.
Right. So since I'm from Karnataka itself, Anna Akka is something that we naturally call, right? Out of reverence, we refer to everybody as that. It's a regular thing for us. But what was surprising for me is when I just stepped into the IE program for the first time, the Ishanga was actually from Costa Rica.
This teacher, you mean?
Yeah, the IE teacher. So when he came in and he was guiding me how to sit, right? So he said, Anna, please sit on this side, right? So I was really shocked how, the culture of Anna Akka has been taken so well and understood and internalized so well by all these foreigners who have become a part of Isha. So I was really shocked and amazed by that. That was my first reaction to that Anna Akka culture.
Nice, Anna. So very weird. Actually, you just got to know about Sadhanapada for their intensity and which you are very attracted towards, or you want to be like that or so. So then, what did you do?
Right. So, August 2022, right after I came back, I researched that in order to do Sadhanapada, you first need to get initiated into something called Shambhavi Mahamudra and complete the inner engineering. That's step number 1, right? So I looked up what is the next first program, and I found out that the closest center that I have is Kormangla Center. So I signed up for the next offline program. So August 2022 is when I got initiated, right? So since then I've been it's been 12 months of continuous volunteering and giving myself completely to the process that finally I got accepted into Sadhanapada. So July 2023 is when I finally came to the ashram as part of Sadhanapada.
Was it how was the application process for you, Anna? Was it easy, or it took some time, or was there any challenges for you to get into the program as such?
So you can't fake the answers, right? It is a very detailed application. And when I opened it, I was like, this is tougher than, applying for a master's program in the US, right? Which is also something that I have done in the past. So I was like, this is more thorough than that. And the questions were really, really make you reflect and think. So I had to really make sure that I'm ready for it, right? I had to really make sure that I was honest to myself in answering everything that they are trying to know about me, about my motivations for doing the program. I had to really do some deep reflections over there before I could be satisfied with my response. And so it took me quite some time, around 2 to 3 months of getting it right, running it by my sister. You can't just wing it, right? It has to be genuine. It has to be
genuine.
honest. Absolutely.
Because this is something that not for anyone else we are going to do, it is for ourselves. So it's very important that we should be honest within ourselves so that it helps us in many ways. But you're there in the Sadhanapada program, Anna, when you got in your batch.
In my batch, there were 1,200.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's almost impossible to know everyone. Maybe your teammates or you are in.
mates. Very look, na?
Yeah, it's difficult, and you're in your own sadhana all the time, right? So you're not socializing that much also.
No. It's not for socializing, but
Yeah, so that's one more reason why we stick to ourselves and go with the flow.
When did you get into the program, Anna?
So July 2023 is when I started Sadhanapada. So the entire 7 months plus, the last 1 month I was there. Yeah, so 2023, 2024 is when I completed it.
Wonderful.
what was the Seva you were assigned to?
I was assigned to Bangalore Temple Department, which was Sadhguru Sanidhi, Bangalore. So we were remotely working for the ashram which is in Bangalore. So we had a lot more work and a lot more remote work compared to any of the other people who were assigned departments within the ashram itself.
So you are placed in Bangalore, Sadhguru Sannidhi.
Right. So we had to come twice to Bangalore Sadhguru Sannidhi, once for Sadhanapada alumni meet on September 2023, and in January 2024 for Naga Panchami also we had to come and support with the actual program.
Okay. Yes. It's really nice.
Have you participated in any consecration programs for Sadhguru?
It's true. So Naga consecration was another, once in a lifetime opportunity for me, right? Sadhanapada was a high point, IE program was a high point, but consecration was when I was still on the fence. I was still deciding whether I'm a full-blown, whether I'm going to go into the spiritual path or whether I'm going to apply for it practically in my life. But I was sitting on the fence. But consecration is what made me go over to the other side.
Without even we realizing that in the transformation happens, like it's just all of a sudden, like I also felt many moments in my life, and like we feel that at some point that we are sitting on the fence, but without even realizing that we just move on with the next phases of our journey, spiritual journey.
Very true.
It's just amazing and wonderful to hear about your experience and when you participated in Naga Panchami.
So how was your experience, Anna, when you were in Sadhanapada?
So Sadhanapada was very hard, right? It was, so one Anna described it as a series of melting points that you go through, right? And each melting point helps you explore something deeper within you that you did not even know existed, right? So inner journey wise, it was extremely rewarding, and I'm extremely grateful for the experience. We did not even know what was in store for us, but the way that we were looked after, the way that our inner journey was prioritized, the way that our welfare was prioritized, the way we were supported through this entire journey, it was just nothing short of a miracle of how, I totally understand how we had to, I just cannot even fathom how we have gone through this experience and come out of it. Still trying to process what we have been through.
Yes, and it's a tremendous journey in its own way, very unique experience. And the program is really very uniquely designed for all the youth. And I think this is such a great boon. And especially like people like you at the young age, you are able to embrace this program, appreciate this program. That itself very big thing, isn't it? Even now, Vinay used to tell us actually, we should go sometime,
We should do the Sadhanapada. I keep telling Raji actually, but we have to see, because sometimes there's a calling that you have to go, and that calling maybe has not yet come to me.
Maybe with time.
With time, yes.
with time. If you really have the will and wish, why not? It can happen actually. It is just that how you would like to manage your responsibilities, and it is very much possible. As long as we are ready for the Seva and Sadhana, I think.
But how was it taken in the family? Like you were working, you were having your own course, but then you said, okay, now 7 months I'm going to go away and do Sadhanapada. How was it taken in the family? I understand that auntie and your sister have done Isha program, so they might have been okay. We know what you're doing, but was there really any resistance for you?
Right, you're 100% right regarding that. So my mother was supportive, without which, without her support, I wouldn't even be on this path. My sister was also very supportive, but she thought I was going more for fun rather than seriously how it's supposed to be done. So she did not think that I was going as a serious aspirant. Regarding my father, my father was extremely, shocked. He was like, you should right now, you should be, working on a job, working, focusing on your career. You cannot afford to just waste time right now on these things, right? That's what, and my friends were also concerned. They were worried that, am I going off to become a sadhu? What happened? Now is the best time of our lives when we should be giving ourselves to completely to our professional path, right? Out of the blue, why are you doing this?
I think it's very true, especially, in Asia, especially in India, that when during the studies and during the career, the parents generally they don't really like that we should be taking any break, or they want us to be really focused and continue in the same path. And especially you will be going a little bit off spiritual and other things we may not be able to appreciate. But how do you feel, Anna? Because they think that it is like off focus, from life or from career. But in your experience, how do you feel that Sadhanapada, is it really taking away your focus from life, or it is intensifying your focus on life? How you feel?
After going through the program, I'm so glad that I just found the time to just go there and get it done, right? I had to make sacrifices, a lot of sacrifices to go there, but it was more than justified in order to be there,
A lot of
right?
sacrifices, in a sense, what do you mean?
I had to pause my business.
Yeah.
I had to keep my, personal marriage plans at abeyance. I had to justify to everybody why they should wait for one more year for me to just disappear and come back. And they won't be seeing me for one entire year. So all those things I had to justify to a lot of people. But I'm so glad that I did that, because what I've experienced and what after going through the program, what I learned there, right, has set me up for the rest of my life, I feel.
Yes, Sadhguru also says that this is like an insurance for your life. Once you have done Sadhanapada, you don't have to really worry about what happens next in life, because you
Yeah,
have
that is so
built
true.
your life, right?
Absolutely. I completely understood why he said that statement after I went through the program.
I'm sorry, I was on mute and speaking. So was it very hard or not?
Now it's done. It's working and it's still recording properly. Yeah. We can use it. You'll have a second camera angle. You can do retention editing. If it just gets the same camera feed, you can swap between.
Namaskaram. If you would like to continue exploring the depth of the transformation, if you would like to continue exploring the depths of transformation.
Hey, what? Now we start.
Silence.
3, 2, 1. Wonderful, Anna. Super.
I had to make sacrifices, a lot of sacrifices to go there, but it was more than justified to keep my, personal marriage plans at abeyance. I had to justify to everybody why they should wait for one more year for me to just disappear and come back. I completely understood why he said that statement after I went through the program. This matters, your inner growth matters to you, then she was willing to make that sacrifice for us. So, one sentence, keeping me aside. For me, it was very difficult to keep the ego aside and experience Dhyanlinga, right? The way it does magic for other people, it wasn't just working for me. Devi sadhana was extremely hard again for a logical mind like mine to understand the emotional, and bhakti sadhana never came easily to me, right? waiting for something to happen, but nothing is really happening. It is a beautiful experience that you should not even think twice whether you can do it, whether you cannot do it. You should just close your eyes and just go for it. Because it was so small, I neglected it, and that is how the infection started, and then it just became a very big issue later on. It was very painful. I never found it an urge to meet him. And they had an interview with me. They asked me, what skills do you bring to the table? See, this is what you're trying to do. How would you go about it? Absolutely. So I'm starting working on my own YouTube channel. It's called Quantum of Divinity. Absolutely. All of us in Sadhanapada had one common regret.